We welcome in Jonathan Casillas. Jonathan, look, the season has come to an end here. Giants finished solidly. I don't want to say finished strong, but they played more competitive at the end. But the big story, obviously, today, Wink Martindale out as the Giants await his resignation. What do you make of what went on? The Post, Paul Schwartz had a great detailed report. What do you make of what went on between Brian Daboll and Wink Martindale?
Oh, it sucks, man. I think the bright spot for this year's 2023 New York Giants team, I think you could say collectively, was the defense. Second in the league in turnovers, not creating turnovers in the first few games and, being able to be up there in the top ranks. That's why they were so competitive, especially in the last game and, the final half of the season, where they created a lot of turnovers and gave the offense a lot of opportunities. So it sucks, man. And I didn't know. I thought Wink could be back, but, it's tough in situations like that where you got a guy, Wink, who's, definitely up for a head coaching job like he was last year, but for him to resign was a little bit weird, I guess, right?
Well, that's why we're asked. Sure, there's the job he did as the DC, and I'm with you. I think Giant fans who think that, we'll just hire somebody else, I think he misses the boat. I think he's a great asset. But the problem for me equally is how it went down. Did he resign because Daboll fired his two top guys and Daboll thought that he would resign? Like, my problem...
Hasn't resigned yet, by the way.
Well, that's true, officially yet. My problem is, if you want him out of the building because you felt that he betrayed you, just fire him.
Yeah. But, if you do that, though, that's a different way about doing business, which would be they still got to pay him and stuff like that. I don't really know, but I don't think that's the case, though. From what I heard from Daboll for his postseason interview with Shane, it sounded like he expected them to be back. Even with the couple of firings that they had made already. So I'm not sure. I'm just as puzzled as everybody. And I wish I had a little bit more detail because I want Wink back. I think the guys played very well for him. With the situations that they were put in for most of the season, and it just sucks,
BT and Sal, we're talking with Jonathan Casillas. One more from me, Jonathan, on the Wink Martindale stuff. You say you want Wink back, and I understand that, good defensive coordinator. However, it has been now reported that Wink was basically insubordinate, not going along with the game plans that Brian Daboll has laid out. So twofold. Do you, A, agree with the defensive coordinator going rogue, and B, is this something that you've been familiar with at all in your years in the NFL, around the NFL? Like, is this something that's normal, or this is so crazy that it generally doesn't happen when you have a defensive coordinator going rogue?
No, not at all. I think that's something that happens, at least from the teams I've been around. Like, my first defensive coordinator was Greg Williams, that crazy dude.
Yes.
Sean Payton, being the head coach, being the offensive-minded coach that he is, they definitely went away from what I think Sean Payton wanted at times with Greg Williams. And even John DeVilma, he went away from, there was some rogue stuff happening as a collective unit, kind of how Jameis Winston went rogue the other day.
Yeah.
There's things like that happens for sure. So I don't think that's it. But, look, this is it's a business, and what people don't understand about business, especially a game like this, a sport that's, highly volatile and turnover is so crazy every single year, they forget the human aspect of it. Sometimes people are just like, I need a new change of an environment, or, hey, I don't know if I can ascend to this position of head coach here. Maybe I can do it elsewhere. There's a lot of things that people just think it's so black and white, and it's not really like that. There's a lot of things that go into it, and for me, I don't want to speculate and get myself into trouble. But at the same time, I feel like the Giants were building something. I think, defensively, there was the reason why, the Giants end up winning. I think it was a broken fit of the Eagles team, but they still beat the Eagles. And it's been a long time since the Giants did that, so you got to tip your hat to what Wink did. And, if that was his last game, that's a good way to go out.
They're going to miss him. That's Jonathan Casillas, BT and Sal here on The Fan. All right. You're the Giants. You got a top 10 pick. Are you taking a quarterback?
It all depends. It depends on Shane and Daboll, who they see as their guy and if their guy is available when it gets to them, or if they want to be bold and go ahead and, move some pieces, trade some pieces up to get one of those guys. I don't know what that draft board looks like, but I don't think the Giants are going to reach. I think they have players on their board that they're expecting to be there at number 6. And, if they can move back, I don't think they're locked in to one thing right now. I don't think they're like, all right, we got to get this guy. He's probably going to be there at 6. We're going to get him. I just think that sets your program up, for, I don't think that's the right way to approach the draft. I think the way to approach the draft is say, hey, look, we have a board here, and we have several needs. Like the Giants are not one player away from, being every year contender. You have to not only build through the draft, but you also have to bring in free agents. You have to bring in quality free agents. And off the top of my head, Bobby Okereke and Waller, I mean, Bobby Okereke is probably one of the greatest free agent signs in Giants history. That guy had an amazing year. He led the, team in snaps played, and really was a game changer week in and week out, consistently every single game. And the Giants got to put more guys in like Bobby Okereke, then also through the draft. They did good. In the top 3 picks, John Michael Smith, played a lot, was injured a little bit, but played basically every snap when he was healthy. Banks had an immediate impact, done some great high-level things at the cornerback position. And then, of course, you got Hyatt, who with limited targets was unanimously the deep threat of the New York Giants this year. And, I don't expect the Giants to go ahead and just destroy this draft and don't have a good draft. I think they're going to have a good draft. I think Joe Shane has been doing well in bringing in high-quality character guys that are really good players as well.
BT and Sal, we're talking with Jonathan Casillas. Do you believe, Jonathan, in Daniel Jones? Meaning, can he be the quarterback, the franchise quarterback that can have sustained success?
Yes, 100%. If he does what he did in 2022, I don't even need no more than that. I'm okay with that because I think the team is better.
Oh, come on, man. Johnny, come on, man. You don't need more than 15 touchdowns? Come on.
Bro, he had 20-something touchdowns. You can't exclude those rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, but he just ripped up his knees. He's going to run around forever. He's got to throw the ball, Jonathan.
I 100% agree with you. Look, the good teams in the NFL, the good teams, not the teams that are barely scraping by, the good teams, they all have really good quarterbacks, every single one. Daniel Jones in 2022, he was a good quarterback. I don't know if he was a really good quarterback, but he was a good quarterback. Yeah. But when you have Saquon Barkley and you have Dexter Lawrence and you have, a defense, that's the big thing. That's why I'm so kind of thrown off by the wing team, because the defense really the last 2 years was the reason why the Giants won the games that they won. Yes, the offense had something to do with it, but if the defense was giving up 30 points a game, which some defenses is in the NFL, the Giants would have never had a chance to win any games this year because of the inefficiencies on offense. Now, Jones this year, he didn't play well. Not when he was healthy, and then he got hurt twice. So I don't know. That 2023 Daniel Jones, he didn't do well for 2023 season, and that Daniel Jones cannot win games in 2024 either. We have to have a better version of Daniel Jones for the Giants to win games. And that version is, for me, the reason why he got paid was off that 2022 year. It may not look pretty, but guys, I don't care how we win games as long as we win them.
Yeah, I hear you. And I like Danny. I don't like him as much as you do. I think that's a bit of an outlier when your quarterback throws for 15 touchdowns and you win a road playoff game. Doesn't happen much. But I respect where you're coming from. I just don't entirely agree. I want to ask you this. We're talking Jonathan Casillas, BT and Sal on the Fan. So you said before, Jonathan, that the Giants are not one player away, which we all obviously agree with. If that's the case, how do you justify either extending Saquon or tagging him rather than taking that money and dispersing it throughout the rest of the roster?
Because Saquon Barkley is a top 3 running back in the league. And with the carousel among the offensive line this year that happened, the musical chairs that were being played through the injury, whatever play, whatever the case was, they had 10 different lineups of offensive linemen this year. And Saquon Barkley still almost had 1,000 yards. And later in the season, even the Philly game, when he was getting hit in the backfield, Saquon was running hard. Any opportunity that he had, to catch the football, he did. He had a couple drops this year and he fumbled, which is not normal like him a couple of times this year. But, bro, I was just telling guys yesterday, I was having a friendly conversation with my guys. I was naming my starting skill position players, right?
Yeah.
I had Cheetah, number one. He's my guy on the outside.
Okay.
I had Justin Jefferson. I put CD in the slot. I put Kittle as my tight end, and I had Saquon as my running back.
Well, you
and
should have C-Mac, but
because he's the Giants' running back.
Okay.
But as far as him and Christian McCaffrey,
all right,
I'll take Saquon.
Why?
Because I know Saquon gets it done.
Wait, but he doesn't get it done. Wait,
he's a beast. Saquon's
he doesn't
a
get
beast.
it done like Christian McCaffrey.
Let me finish.
He's always hurt McCaffrey.
So
is Saquon.
That Christian McCaffrey has, and he doesn't have the talent around him that Christian McCaffrey has, and he's still doing pretty good on this side.
I got you.
I'm with Jonathan on this one, BT. I know we might be in the minority. I think Saquon, pound for pound, equal thing, better back than Christian McCaffrey.
No way.
I love Saquon. He's a beast. I do disagree. I'm more in alignment with BT as far as the Daniel Jones thing, Jonathan. I want to believe in Jones. He did great a couple years ago. I just can't trust that he's going to be a franchise quarterback moving forward, not just because of the numbers, but the injuries as well, all those different things. But, hey, you know what? We'll see. Down year for the Giants, Jonathan, but it was a good year having you on with us. We appreciate your time. It was fun. You were a good spot. We look forward to doing it again next season.
Thanks, fellas. Same to you guys, man.
There you have it, Jonathan.
He was a good addition. I liked when
Yeah.
he jumped in. He fit in well. That was awesome.